Barcelona delivered some stunning conditions on the fourth day of the first round-robin stage of the Louis Vuitton Cup, with an easterly breeze that oscillated around 10 knots, allowing the race committee to set a course running close to the Barceloneta beachfront, and providing a superb sailing spectacle. The sailors were on point too, delivering an all-action day packed with lead changes, overtakes, match racing tactics, and execution of the highest order, in a superb advert, not only for the Louis Vuitton Cup, but the sport of sailing at its very pinnacle. In the overall standings, including the defender, the three teams finished the opening round robin with 4 points: Emirates Team New Zealand, Rossa Prada Pirelli, and INEOS Britannia. Meanwhile, in the challenger-only standings, Rossa Prada Pirelli are on top, having delivered a perfect 4-0 scoreline. Whilst the top of the table is clear, it's down at the bottom where the fight is real, and for Alinghi Red Bull Racing and Orient Express Racing, who both lost important and winnable races today, they are in the fight of their lives, in the second round robin, that is scheduled to start on Tuesday. The Swiss lost their opening race against Emirates Team New Zealand through disqualification after a mast mainsail issue forced them back into the Port Vell, and they just fell foul of the boundary requirements on their return to the racecourse. A close race, but ultimately a defeat by a ruthless Rossa Prada Pirelli in their second race, leaves the Swiss with 0 points from the opening round robin. Arnaud Sarophagus, skipper of Alinghi Red Bull Racing, was more than aware of the situation they face and knows they need a fast start at the very beginning of round robin 2 on Tuesday. Asked how the team are faring, he remained positive, saying, "The mood in the camp is really good. We know we need to put points on the board, and to do that we need to win races. We need to start soon, otherwise we are not going to be able to do it anymore. Every day we are just going to try again and try to fix what we are missing so far. It's now or never, and so we are looking forward to Tuesday, to go out there and do some good races." After sailing a truly clinical race, Francesco Bruni, Port Helm, made it clear that Rossa are here to win, saying, "It is very important to do well because we want to be in that semi-final and not be the ones going home early. We are putting a lot of focus on sailing well and also learning for the future. It's not just about collecting results, it's a balance between collecting good results but also improving day by day. That's why we train before and after racing so that we can keep improving." For Orient Express Racing Team, today was a huge opportunity to secure a vital point, but they faced a fired-up INEOS Britannia who recovered supremely well from 2 penalties on the first upwind leg to snatch a victory and dash French hopes. Quentin de la Pierre, skipper of Orient Express Racing Team, ruled another near miss today, saying, "It was a great fight and that's really positive. Our boat is going faster and our maneuvers are getting better. I'm really proud of the team also to take the start this time, and I think everything is getting better and better. We just need to do things a bit more accurately to win races, but we are not far off." Dylan Fletcher, Port Helm on INEOS Britannia, was relieved with the win but also pleased overall with Britannia's speed, saying, "We made it quite hard on ourselves today. To be fair, our starting coach, Ian Williams, was saying that we needed to have a good battle out there, so we gave him one of those. But it was nice to see Britannia going fast and we were confident out there, so we just need to keep building on this momentum, and now it's time for round robin 2. The concluding race of the Louis Vuitton Cup opening round robin was something of a classic between Emirates Team New Zealand and New York Yacht Club American Magic, 2 teams who both had something to prove, gain and learn from each other. It was a tense, close battle right from the start, with some textbook match racing and pinpoint execution that saw lead changes aplenty before the Kiwis ultimately came up with masterful positioning on the second downwind leg and some great reading of the pressure to seize a lead that they never lost. For Emirates Team New Zealand, it was a chance to check in after their repairs on Friday, and Andy Maloney, trimmer on Taihoro, appeared more than pleased in the race against American Magic, saying, "It was an amazing effort by the shore crew to get us out there yesterday like they did, and the boat was feeling good. The phases though were extremely difficult out there. We didn't read them that well on the first upwind, which we sort of kick ourselves for, but then from then on, I think we regrouped well, and sailed a really good race, keeping in phase when we could, and splitting when we had the opportunity to get past them. but extremely difficult, and I think you can both be in phase with different puffs around the racecourse. Tom Slingsby, starboard helm on American Magic, shouldered some of the blame for their loss today, saying, "We had a really good first lap, we were behind on the first cross, and then got back, and got them at the top mark. We had a nice run, led them around the bottom mark, which was nice, and then the second beat it felt like they were potentially maneuvering a bit better than us. We tried matching them a couple of times, and then they seemed to be closing in on us, and, my hands are up, I decided to say, look, we're bleeding here, let's let them go and just concentrate on ourselves and try to pick the shifts, and I chose the wrong time to do that. There is now just one scheduled day off before the regatta rolls into round robin 2, and most teams will elect to take a maintenance day before racing is scheduled to start on Tuesday, with what could be a semi-final decider race between Orient Express Racing Team and Alinghi Red Bull Racing, in the very first race. The pressure is white-hot and rising at the Louis Vuitton Cup, with one of these excellent teams going home exactly 1 week from today, and no one wants to be that team.
Some good and some bad out of the day. I mean, obviously we're competitive people and we want to win every race that we race, and even though that's not a race that counts, I think the guys in the first 50% of that race sailed a really good race. We did a good job of controlling a really tough spot in the start. Team New Zealand did a good job of asking the question and then peeling out and getting a good start. And the speed delta and the difference there was probably the reason for the exchange at the first cross. But Patriot was going quite well, and we've seen that consistently in these conditions. So that's a positive. And then, by the bottom mark, we were in a pretty comfortable spot. And for 50% of the second beat, did a nice job getting them to the short side of us and keep bouncing them out that way. And we had a couple inconsistent maneuvers, just some subtle little things there that we have to be better at from a consistency perspective. We're seeing a lot of really good things out of our team, so we have to continue to be patient with that learning. We have some great opportunities coming on later in this week in the second round robin to continue to measure ourselves against the other challengers and see where we're at. And in saying that, it's been good to see Patriot's performance against the defender, because ultimately that's who we're going to have to beat.
That race with American Magic was a real good one. We've been hanging out for a race like that. Tested us, and that's really what we're after in round robin stages, I guess, is just to try and hone in on our racecraft and get as best prepared as we can for October. The tighter the race is, the harder it is for the cyclists, that's for sure. So, it was a good effort, but not too hard. And then for us, up front, it's really about sailing the boat as accurately as we can, which means hopefully it's going as fast as it can, and then positioning it correctly with the wind shifts and wind speed up and down. So the only way to really test yourself is by being in a tight race situation, and that last race today enabled us to be able to do that, and good to come out on the right side of it.
C'était un match déjà qui était important pour nous. On pense que c'est un des concurrents qu'on peut vraiment battre à la régulière si on navigue bien. Et on l'a prouvé. Je pense qu'on n'a aucun complexe à avoir en vitesse, mais on fait encore des transitions, des décisions tactiques, des prises de position en contact qui ne sont pas encore très affûtées, on va dire, par manque de maîtrise, par peur peut-être également. D'avoir des positions plus rapprochées. On perd souvent lorsqu'on a ces situations de contact. Il faut vite gommer ça parce qu'il nous reste une semaine. Mais c'est rassurant de pouvoir se dire qu'on peut matcher et que maintenant notre ambition c'est que des matchs comme ça on doit pas être derrière. Donc ça veut dire, finalement ce sont des bateaux qu'on peut affronter, et que si on a une part de réussite, ça nous permettra d'aller en finale de la Louis Vuitton. C'est vraiment quelque chose qu'on peut espérer en fait après un match comme ça.
Yeah, it's been a pretty full-on round robin one, plenty of action, and if this is the start of the rest of the America's Cup, I think we're in for a good one. For us, we've had some up and down moments. We've had some really close races, like a good dust up with the French today. Also some races where we struggled for a couple of reasons, but every day we're out here, we're learning more and more about this boat, how we can improve the performance, and that's what's critical as we move forwards for the competition. Well, we get pretty quickly into the second round robin on Tuesday, and more of the same really. And at this stage, of course, every point counts. You've got to get them across the line, and at the end of round robin 2, one team's going to get eliminated, and then we're into semis. So starting to rattle through this competition at pace. Like I said, each day really counts in terms of making those gains, and that's as a team, that's what we're all about.